Having sailed on all 3 prior Oasis-class ships, we've been looking forward to sailing on the newest member of the fleet, Symphony of the Seas. We began planning this cruise over a year ago, and of course, we had some pretty high expectations for the largest ship in the world. After sailing a 7-day Western Caribbean cruise, we are back to tell you all about this record-breaking ship. I'm DB from EatSleepCruise.com, and this is our Symphony of the Seas Caribbean Cruise Review. Being the world's largest cruise ship, Symphony of the Seas accommodates over 6,000 passengers. The good news is that the brand new, state-of-the-art Terminal A in Miami, Florida, offered a seamless and speedy embarkation despite the number of eager cruisers. Our entire check-in process took only a few minutes. Getting off the ship a week later was a pleasant surprise as well. Disembarkation was just as smooth and effortless, with improved processes, technology, and plenty of staff. If it isn't broke, why fix it? That is the case with the Symphony of the Seas, as Royal Caribbean did not change much when it came to the outdoor sports deck. Oasis-class favorites like the Flow Rider, a zip line, a 9-hole mini golf course, the Perfect Storm water slides, and a children's aqua park are all present on Symphony of the Seas. The Ultimate Abyss, which debuted on Harmony of the Seas, is also on board this brand new megaship. If you are a thrill seeker, you'll want to test out all of these fun-filled activities. There are over 2,200 crew members on board to take good care of you during your trip. Like many large cruise ships, some venues did seem understaffed, especially during peak times. Though, for the most part, the crew was friendly, attentive, and helpful. Our waitstaff at dinner were nice, but always appeared rushed. This was also the case occasionally at some of the bars and lounges. Our stateroom attendant was excellent and definitely a standout for service on this cruise. With all the bells and whistles, you will not be bored on Symphony of the Seas. Along with 4 pools, the sports deck, and other amusements, there are also your typical cruise selections: trivia, seminars and classes, the cruiser favorite belly flop contest, and many more. Nothing stood out to us as different or innovative in this category. We spent most of our daytime enjoying the various neighborhoods, the sports deck, and lounging by those pools. We dined in the main dining room 5 out of the 7 nights of our cruise. After a glitch on the first evening, we were able to acquire a table for 2 and a different section for the remainder of the nights. Our waiter and assistant waiter met our service expectations, but were not overly memorable. The menus on this sailing were a slight departure from the typical Royal Caribbean menus, but the food was on par with past cruises. The one exception was the second formal night, also known as Lobster Night. The lobster tails were unlike anything we had ever seen on a cruise or on land, and were not to our liking. Over the recent years, we've been testing out more specialty restaurants while cruising. On this sailing, we sampled 3 different venues. Besides our lunch at Playmakers, which was great, we were a bit disappointed with the new Hook's Seafood restaurant and our dinner at Wonderland. Compared to the main dining room, the seafood at Hooked was much better. And I really enjoyed the lobster roll for lunch, but dinner just did not meet this New Englander's expectations. We have dined at Wonderland on 2 other ships, and have to admit that the food during this trip was the least impressive. The menu has been changed a little bit, and some of our favorites didn't just live up to previous experiences. Although, the addition of a host acting as the Mad Hatter was a really great touch. Where the specialty dining suffered during our trip, the casual restaurants shined. While the Windjammer was underwhelming for us, the rest of the options were great. The new El Loco Fresh is a nice replacement for the old Wipeout Cafe. Our favorites, including Park Cafe and the Boardwalk Doghouse, were great alternatives to buffet and serve fresh, well-prepared food. In addition, the Princess was pleasantly surprised with the new and improved pizza at Sorrento's. We really enjoyed having these diverse options. Similar to other ships in the fleet, Symphony of the Seas is home to several venues with regular entertainment. The performers in these venues ranged from Billy Pando, the piano player in the Schooner Bar, to the house band that tended to be found in Dazzles. When there wasn't a signature show to catch, there were other activities, including parties and parades in the Royal Promenade. Of course, there was the adult game show The Quest, and the Love and Marriage game show, not to mention the popular Red Party in Studio B. With so many options, there's really something for everyone to enjoy on this ship. Even with our very high bar when it comes to entertainment on the Oasis class, Symphony of the Seas still surpassed our expectations. Hairspray was top-notch and one of our favorite Broadway musicals found at sea. The Royal Caribbean original production of Flight was spectacular, with several state-of-the-art stage pieces that truly enhanced the show. Along with the 2 entertaining ice shows, there were also 2 aqua theater productions, with the new Hyro show being a great combination of acrobatics, dancing, and of course, diving. Along with other entertainment like comedy shows, the 7 nights were packed with high-quality entertainment. We booked an ocean view balcony stateroom on Deck 11. The room was laid out in a typical fashion with plenty of space. Among the amenities were added USB outlets near the desk and power outlets near the bed. The room boasted a well-positioned, flat-screen television and 2 closets, offering plenty of space for all our clothing. After sailing on competitor cruise lines, the size of the balcony was also a breath of fresh air. With several familiar venues, it was surprising that the cruise line didn't add anything new to the ship in terms of bars and lounges besides playmakers. For the most part, the bars on the ship offered reliable service, but did seem slightly understaffed at times. Finding seats at popular venues did not prove to be too much of a problem if you got there a little early. Our favorite go-to lounge was the Schooner Bar for its specialty martinis and live piano music. Other venues with signature menus include Boleros, the Bionic Bar, and the Rising Tide Bar. There are a lot of cruisers on board Symphony of the Seas, but you should know that when booking a cruise on a ship of this size. With that being said, we were pleasantly surprised that wait times for elevators were never a problem, even on Disembarkation Day. Getting poolside loungers was also not as difficult as expected, and with the different outdoor areas, the crowds tended to disperse pretty nicely. We would rate this category as exceeded expectations if it wasn't for the crowds at the shows. Even with reservations, there were lines forming as early as 45 minutes prior to showtime. So, if you want a good seat, plan to show up pretty early. One of the new additions to this class of ship is laser tag. Occurring in Studio B on select days of your cruise, this is a first come, first serve activity. The line for the game got quite long, and the staff seemed unorganized. The execution could have been better, perhaps by having a sign up for specific time slots to avoid long wait times. As for the game itself, it's a bit dark and tough to see, and the technology seemed dated compared to laser tag on competitor cruise lines. Still, it is a family fun activity as long as you're willing to wait, and it is included in your cruise fare. Another exclusive to Symphony of the Seas is the enhanced Ultimate Abyss slide. While we did do a test run on Harmony of the Seas, we gave this slide another go. The addition of the lighting and sound effects didn't really change the experience for us. As thrill seekers, we were expecting a bit more from this slide, although it does feel like this version is slightly faster than its predecessor on Harmony of the Seas. As an activity that is included in your cruise fare, it's worth at least one ride on this slide to test it out for yourself. Overall, sailing on the world's largest cruise ship definitely met these avid megaship fans' expectations. We're happy to report the ship delivered an exceptional vacation. Royal Caribbean is still the leader when it comes to entertainment, and this ship truly embodies the line's commitment to production shows that blow the competition out of the water. Generally speaking, food, staterooms, bars and lounges, and other activities were on par with what we've come to expect from megaships. One area we found a bit lacking, though, was specialty dining, especially for the expensive cover charges. When it comes to megaships, you can't get any bigger than Symphony of the Seas. So there's something to be said about the crowd control and seamless embarkation and disembarkation process. Symphony of the Seas definitely ranks near the top of the best options for vessels of this size. With a little bit of planning, your family can have an unforgettable time on board this world record holding ship. And that will do it for our Symphony of the Seas Caribbean cruise review. But of course, we want to hear from you. If you sailed on this record-breaking ship, leave us a comment below to share your cruise review. I'm DB from EatSleepCruise.com, and if you enjoyed this video, we'd really appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below, that way you get updated whenever we put out brand new videos. You can also find us all over social media at Eat Sleep Cruise, and thanks again for watching.